Climate change is only expected to amplify extreme weather, and halfway through July, we are already seeing the impact extreme weather is having in our lives, which is why we are looking at major solutions to the climate crisis. Sarah Pila joins us now with the final installment of her series on regenerative agriculture and the hope it has for our climate future. Sarah has been joining us all week. Looking forward to the finale, if you will.
Thank you. We're going to tie it all together, as farming and ranching with nature can have a major impact on the climate crisis and on our nutrition. You know, healthier soil has more nutrients. It can also capture more carbon from the atmosphere, making the environment more resilient to severe storms and extreme heat. But in order to change our food to be grown and raised regeneratively, consumers, people like you and me, need to want it. And TomKat Ranch is working hard to educate the public to create demand. With all the TLC that it takes to farm and ranch regeneratively, at the end of the day, to change the food system, there must be demand for people to eat it. That's where TomKat Ranch Food Advocacy Manager Kathy Webster comes in.
Without the demand on that side, we're not going to have people shifting their practices, nor consumers buying the food that is raised for the planet, the people, and the animals.
To build demand equitably for all communities to have nutrient-rich food, people need to understand the importance of how their food is grown and the impact it has on the environment. The ranch believes the biggest influence they can have in changing the food system is integrating regenerative beef into large institutions, and they're doing this today through a collaborative program with other local ranchers called Beef to Institution.
We decided to expand it to work with schools and hospitals and change that barrier that hospitals and schools face to buy from local and small mid-sized ranchers.
The inspiration for the program began at La Honda Pescadero Unified School District. Seeing their limited budget, TomKat Ranch began donating beef while Kathy helped transform their menu to a scratch cooking model. Today, Principal Kristen Lindstrom's students at Pescadero Elementary are eating grass-fed beef in their enchiladas and organic salad from a local farm.
We were ready to be able to make a transition to go from those little frozen trays to scratch cooking. And luckily, TomKat was able to support us monetarily so that we could actually make that happen and get it off the ground.
Beef to Institution's grass-fed beef is in more than 20 schools and several hospitals, including UC Davis Health, where Executive Chef Santana Diaz has built the #1 food procurement program for sustainability in the UC system, offering organic farm-to-fork meals to patients, visitors, and staff.
You're securing the economic bounty of your region with the way you're procuring, but you're supporting every job in the California job that's associated with that.
The program focuses on food as medicine, and its success has gained interest from other hospitals around the country and the federal government.
We want to take UC Davis's work, Chef Santana Diaz's work, and spread it across the nation.
Hospitals and schools are ideal buyers for farmers and ranchers because they can count on them for consistent business. Kathy's work in building demand is the key to integrating regenerative agriculture at scale.
So we do that with every pound of beef we sell. We tell the story of regenerative agriculture and connecting the consumers, the buyers, the chefs, institutions to our network of regenerative ranchers.
Bridging the gap so everyone has access to healthy food. And so Beef to Institution is working to be leaders in community health and wealth, providing nutrient-dense food to traditionally underserved communities and encouraging more farmland to convert to regenerative. We need that demand in order to do that, Calvin.
We do, and it's just so important. And so many communities, as we talked about throughout the week, they don't have access, or many don't. They have food deserts, food insecurity in so many places. So that's why these types of things are important. And then it leads to the question of why are they trying to target large institutions? I mean, it makes sense to an extent to try to get these involved. Are any other reasons why they're doing it?
Well, I mean, it's the biggest buyer and really the single lever for changing our food system. You know, hospitals, they never close. They're open every day. They need lots of food to feed everyone. UC Davis Health, they serve 6,500 meals a day.
Wow.
The same with schools. There's a lot of kids to feed 5 days a week. So farmers and ranchers, they need an end buyer. That is really the key here. It's just too risky. You can't just grow food and raise a bunch of cattle and hope you have someone to sell it to.
Right.
It's just too risky. So it's guaranteed money for them, and then the institutions are guaranteed guaranteed food. And people in schools and hospitals who may not be able to afford this type of high quality food, they gain access. It also injects money into our local economy. You know, you don't have to deal with supply chain issues. You're not importing across the country or overseas. The food's right here. And just a fact I learned was about 80% of our beef is actually imported, and many from countries as far as like Australia.
Right, we could just have it right here. And not to mention all the places you just named having better quality food.
That's
and
right.
Food that you're not in the hospital, like, I don't want to eat the food. Somebody bring me some food from outside.
Food as medicine. That is really what they're thinking about here.
Well, you have been medicine here. Thank you so much, Sarah Pila, for all that you've done all week, informing us and educating us on all